Hey, good morning, or afternoon, I guess it's morning here. It's 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Can everybody hear me? I had to redo my screen last time I was streaming on my other monitor, and I had to fix it up. I could stream on my regular monitor. So we're going to cover a few things, guys. All right, we're going to cover the C1 chart. If you have access to my charts, remember the most important charts actually is C1, H1 for Bitcoin, C1, H1, G1, and E1. We're going to cover those charts. We're also going to cover BNB, Ethereum, matic. We're also going to cover the VIX, the volatility index for the S&P, the Dow Jones, and that's pretty much it, guys. But this is pretty important, and I want you to pay attention to this. So we're going to come back to this. You can see this does look like we're in a rising wedge. I will admit we don't have any bearish divergence. We might have a slight bearish divergence. It's very slight on the RSI. We'll come back to this. But if you remember the video I made a while back, I said that I did say, I probably in that title I should have been more careful what I said, but I said, if as long as we're below this point, I'm bearish. As soon as we get above this point, I'd be bullish. And I did expect us to come down and test this target. And I do believe had we come down, this would have been the target we would hit to get a bounce. And I said, if we pushed up when we get above this point to get bullish, that's when I got in. So we're coming up on, we're above. This yellow moving average is the 21-week moving average. Typically, that is a bullish sign. So as far technically, you should be bullish right now. But you can see this is a rising wedge, and you notice that I'm pointing to this point. If you believe in my charts, guys, if you've been following my charts for a while, you understand how they work and how these rings work. I can tell you that this is very strong resistance. And then you have this yellow ring, which we're going to go over in a bit, and you have this white ring. So we got 3 points of resistance. So even if we push up, this is going to be so much resistance. And yes, we are above the 21-week. Again, in technical analysis, per classical TA, that is bullish. But we have been, thank you, Magdi. Good morning. Check Tesla Safe Chart. It is the best, most healthy chart I've seen. I have a Tesla chart. I don't know what you mean by Tesla safe, but maybe we'll cover that in a bit. But I kind of had this all lined up. Do keep in mind, we're on the cusp of breaking this rising wedge. You want to see, I don't think we'll ever see 1,000. But we're going to keep paying attention to this chart because, look, we're potentially about to break this. And your support, obviously, will be the 21-week moving average. We're going to come back and inspect this chart. We're also going to cover the E1 chart. This is the same yellow ring that is right here. Guys, this is very important, and I'm going to show you why, even though we're above the 21-week, don't get too bullish. And if you are bullish, hey, set your stop loss below the 21-week. But let me show you a couple of these charts. So this is the C1 chart, and the reason I have it wound back to August 6, 2021. And before we get into this, guys, listen, if you do want to access these charts, it's up to you if you want to try it out for 1 month for Bitcoins, altcoins. And listen, the only altcoin charts that are updated that you can use is BNB, matic, Ethereum, and XRP. The other charts need to be updated. So look, guys, if you're interested in signing up, those are the only 4 altcoin charts that are pretty much accurate. I need to update the rest of them. But as far as Bitcoin charts, I always keep those updated, okay, guys? But I will be updating at least 2 or 3 altcoin charts per day till I get those all updated, and then we can discuss if we want to create more altcoin charts. But right now, under altcoins, again, matic is up to date. Ethereum 1, 2, and 3 is up to date. Let's see, we've got, and then BNB is down below. So again, those are only altcoin charts that are really that you can use now. I need to update all these charts. I have my work cut out for me. But as far as Bitcoin, guys, all the Bitcoin charts up to date. You guys have been following me. You know this. And again, if you do have access, so look, C1 right here, the label, C1 chart, H1 chart, G1 chart, E1 chart. These are the 4 charts you need to pay attention to if you have access. Now, these archive charts are still accurate. The B1, D1, F1, these are still accurate for support and resistance. But again, C1, H1, G1, and E1, we're going to cover those charts. And if you do want to sign up to subscribe, again, it's $39 a month. Get access to Bitcoins, altcoins, precious metals, Discord, and Twitter if you want to try it out. And then if you do like it, whatever you have left on your plan and you want to upgrade to lifetime, shoot me an email through the contact page, and I'll deduct whatever you paid if you want to. Even if your next month comes up, I'll deduct that amount from the lifetime if you decide you want to go that way. Yes, guys, let me finish the current charts I have, then we'll create new charts. But let me go over some of these charts, and let me give you this link if you do want to subscribe. This is the link right here. If you would like to subscribe, you have to pay with PayPal or credit card. If you go with lifetime, you can pay with crypto, if that's an option you want to choose. And make sure that you, if you do subscribe, you will need to contact me. My email address is here. Make sure you contact me, and that's where you would say, hey, I want to do lifetime. Or if you're already subscribed, make sure you send me an email, because I'll need to email you the Discord invite link and for you to follow me on Twitter, because my Twitter is private. So now that I covered that, let's jump into this. So guys, we're going to come back. We're going to cover this chart, the G1 chart, the E1 chart. But for right now, let me show you this chart. So this is the C1 chart. I have it rewound back. I just want to show you the accuracy of these charts, all right? So, and the reason I have it backed up to here is because this is where I published this chart. This was on August 6, 2021. You can see where price was. I hadn't extended these out, but I want you to see how accurate these charts are, so you can actually know when to get in, when to get out. So I'm going to hit play on this. Just watch it play out and notice where we top out. Notice how we bounce, even this line right here. So let me hit play on this real quick just to show you how it played out. We did the same with Ethereum and BNB. Good morning. And I'll start. Let me kind of cover what I wanted to cover in the stream. I don't want to make it too long so people can come back and watch it. So let me play this out. Watch how the C1 chart. Watch how accurate this is. Notice we keep coming up, testing that top line and keep getting rejected. So right now, I'm going to tell you this. You know, we did come down. Every time we hit this line, we get rejected. You know, we didn't come up. We came down. We found this is where you would have bought in. This is where you would have got out. This is where you bought back in. You're just swing trading. We did drop below, but you had your right here. You had your the bottom of the Bollinger Band. Notice we pushed up. We got topped out again. So look. If you get above, pay attention. If you get above this price target right here, 48,393, since this has been such strong resistance, you know if you get above this point, expect a pump. Right here, this line. This is the line we have to break to go higher according to the C1 chart. Every time we hit it, we get rejected. So look, let me give you some support and resistance level. Your current resistance on the C1 chart right now is right here. So this is a potential point too short. Do not forget we're in a rising wedge. Just giving you price targets, pay attention to. So if we get up to 46,524, potentially you might want to short. Your next support level, and I drew this line in because this would be a fib channel. I just drew the line to match as parallel. You'll notice right here, we found support. Now we do wick below it, guys. They try to wick you out, but ultimately this is our support. So if we come down, your first support to watch is around 45,000. Nice even number if you want to get a bounce, potentially back up to resistance. And your next strongest support below is going to be right here. And that's why I'm saying just use a C1 and H1 charts, guys. So those are your, this is 43,342. So these are your current support and resistance levels to pay attention to. So that's how the C1 chart played out. And just to show you, this is a published version. I can't edit this. Just want to show you the published version of how this played out. And again, I update these charts. When I published this chart, I'd added more stuff after the fact. But if you hit play, you notice these lines up here. This is where we got topped out. Topped out, topped out, topped out. Now we're coming down. Now this is resistance. This is the H1 chart. And I don't know why I have this on. Hold on. I think it should play. All right, so let me show you this. So this is a pivot ring right here. And every time I made a tweet back here, I said, look, this is right. I made this community post as well. This is where I was talking about some bearish divergence. And I said, refer to previous tweet. But then I was talking about a pivot ring right here. I said TikTok, if you remember the community section. was talking about we were in this falling wedge, which is a bullish pattern. I did reference we had some bearish divergence. It could go up, it could go down, but I did say if you break this white ring, if we break above this white ring, that is bullish for upside. Obviously, if you stay below this white ring, we could come down. But notice where we got a pump. As soon as we crossed this white ring, immediately we got a pump. And this white ring has been here way before price got here. Way before we started forming this falling wedge, this ring was here. So we knew this ring was a breakout point. That is the beauty of these charts. While you're in a falling wedge, well, when is it going to break? Well, when you get to this ring, that's when it broke and pushed up. And now we're starting to come back down. We're going to cover this as well. So let's see. This is the H1. Let me play this out so you can see how it played out. I think I have this set up correctly. Let me put this on auto. So watch how this plays out. If I can hit play here. So watch how this plays out. You got to pump past the white ring. This is the next pivot ring over here. Notice how we're respecting every single one of these fib channel lines. Alright, we crossed it. We got a pump, and look what happened. This is where we topped out, right here. This was our resistance right at this point, right? And look where we're finding support. And I mentioned this in a tweet also, this yellow line right here. This is currently our support. We break this support, we're coming much lower. It's possible we could get a bounce. If we do and we bounce back up, your next resistance to watch is right here at 47,000. 47,000. Your next major resistance we have to get above on this chart is going to be right at 47,900. Again, guys, these charts are for swing trading. It looks like we might be breaking this support. And we're going to cover the Dow and a couple other things, why I think it's possible we're going to come down much lower. Let's see. So I did show you that. So let me give you these price targets just for this chart alone. Okay. So this support we're breaking. Your next major support to watch is going to be right down here around 45,000. And that is on par with the C1 chart. If we go back, you can look. 45,000 right here. So that's two charts. The C1 chart is showing 45,000 and the H1 chart is also showing 45,000. So this might be a good point to catch a bounce, at least up to potentially 45,900, something like that. Good morning, Bat. So let's go on. I'm going to show you the Ethereum chart. This is the E3 Ethereum chart. I just want to show you how accurate this was. This was the most recent chart. So BNB, Ethereum, and matic are the most recent charts I created. We're going to cover an older Ethereum chart that's still accurate. I'm going to give you some price targets to pay attention to. I know a lot of you guys are trading Ethereum. Let me play this out. I just want you to see how accurate these charts are. I have it on auto so it automatically scroll, but watch what happens when we push up. You see where we topped out and how accurate it is with these fib channels. Once you know the direction of price, you have a good idea where you can find support and resistance. And take note, when we cross these rings, you'll get a pump. And as I've said, when a ring is resistance and then you finally break it, you can get a pump. So I'm going to play this out real quick for you guys. Normally this chart was on the 5-minute. I have it on the 15-minute, so it plays out a little faster. Put it back in auto. So watch how this plays out. Notice we're underneath this white ring. As soon as we push above the white ring, we get a pump. And watch where we top out. Perfect resistance at this line. Perfect support at this line. And then we push up. Notice we got topped out right here. Came down to support. Pushed up, got topped out here again. I know Ethereum's been on a tear, guys. And look where we came down. We found support right here on this blue line. We broke it. This became resistance. And then as soon as we broke it, we pushed up. Look how that volatility is crazy. And again, this is on the 15 minutes, all right? Notice it came down. We found support. And keep in mind, this is back since August 5th. And this is playing out in the 15-minute, just to show you the accuracy. You know, support. This is where you short, long, long. And I need to add some more fib channels, but look what happens when you come down. A long point. This is a point you long again right here. I have to move this out of the way. But you see, you longed from this point. You came down to major support. Let's see how far this goes. That was your resistance to short. This is your point too long. And then it dropped down. Look, perfect support right here. So again, swing trading. You're not going to win them all, but you have a general idea. This is a lot of support. It became resistance. We dropped down to this one, point too long. Pushed all the way back up. It was support and resistance. And then that's currently where we're at, and you can see we're coming down. So according to this chart, guys, I'm going to show you the next Ethereum chart. This is for smaller targets, only smaller targets for Ethereum chart. I'm going to give you these price targets right now. Your current resistance for Ethereum is 3,211. Your next support level below is going to be down here, 3,111. And your strongest resistance above is going to be at 3,361. So that's how this chart played out on this is a 5-minute chart. And this is just the published version, just to show you that, you know, nothing moves when I create a chart. I keep it the same, but you can see, watch, once we break this white ring, that's when we start pushing up. And then again, it goes through, but you can see this is the exact same chart just published, just to show you how it played out. And every time I create a new chart, update a chart, I'm going to start doing this so we can go back and see how it played out. But again, it's the same chart. Let's see, so this is the most important chart, and this plays along, if Ethereum can be an indicator of what's going to happen, right? Take note this yellow ring right here. Now when I create these fib circles are points. Let me get rid of the Bollinger Band and the volume so it's not too confusing. So when I set up this chart, price has been respecting this yellow fib circle going way back. Notice right here it was resistance, we broke above it, to the next one's resistance, respecting this yellow fib circle. So what I'm getting at, notice we bottomed right on this fib circle. We bottomed right here, right? And then we bottomed on the same one again, right here. And then we bottomed, we found support, and then we broke it. Well, this is the next one, and look what happened. We didn't make it back up. We had perfect resistance. Look at this. Resistance, support. You can play the hell out of this. Resistance, resistance, support, resistance. Didn't quite come down. Notice we didn't make it back up to this point. Why? Because this ring right here is pushing us down. This ties into Bitcoin as well, and also actually the ETF for the S&P. We're going to cover that as well. So let me give you price targets for Ethereum right now. And again, keep in mind these are an angle. If you have access to the charts, these charts play out live 24/7. So if you break this support, well, we know that this is going to be support as well. We know that this is going to be support. And then we know all of these lines like this are going to be support and resistance as well. And you know you're going to have very strong support and resistance because look, see where we bottomed right here? Already had these arrows. This is your next strongest support level to watch. This has been a lot of support, resistance, resistance. So if we come down, a likely point to catch a bounce. Not to mention, you've got this line in this direction, this line in this direction. So if you come down, you're looking for a good point to buy back in. That would potentially be down, if we stay below, before this yellow ring, you're looking at potentially 2,591, maybe 2,629. But your current major resistance, if you get above, actually if you break above this yellow ring, that would be bullish, but your resistance above is 3,400. Your current support, if you want a chance along, is around 3,083. Your next support level below, double support, 2,969. And then if we break that, your next strongest support's around 2,629. And it goes all the way down. All your support and resistance levels are already mapped out below and above. This is the E1 chart. This is the one you need to go to first for your strongest support and resistance levels, guys. I appreciate that, my shorts. Matic, this is one of the more recent charts I created, and what I want to show you are these pivot rings. A lot of people, you know, I do fib channel charts so you know support and resistance, but the most important thing is I give you points to know when to potentially to find a big move. Watch how this plays out when we cross the blue ring. I don't know if it's this blue ring or this one, but as soon as we cross the blue ring, we get a pump. So I'm going to play this out real quick. Yeah, I think it's this blue ring here. As soon as we cross it, watch. Bam, straight up. And look what's happening now. So we are above right now. So this is your current support for matic. So let me put a price label here. So your current support for matic is right here at $1.42. If you break that, this ring will be support. You also have, look, we topped out right at this line and then became support. And this has been here way before price got to it. This was where you topped out. You came down, found support, you got resistance, pushed above it, topped out at the this next. You got underneath this ring. We pushed up, so now your support is right here. So we could push higher. Your next major resistance I have for matic is going to be up here around $1.73. But do keep in mind these rings right here. These are pivot rings. Notice as we approached this yellow ring, we pushed up. The pivot was sideways. When we approached this ring, we pushed up, crossed it, came down, and we are right here at this next pivot ring. So do pay attention. In the next, if you're playing matic, this is on the 3 hour. This is pretty much a new candle. So pay attention to matic in about 1 day. This is potentially we could push up, cross it, come down, but this is a pivot ring. And just showing you how we're respecting these rings. But matic's doing pretty well right now. And this is a published chart to show you how it played out, just so you know that when we do cross this ring, we get a pump. See that? As soon as we hit that ring, we pushed up, got topped out at the next ring. So if we did push up, if we got really bullish, your next target would be this ring. Guys, we go from ring to ring to ring. This is BNB. This chart has been very accurate. This is one of my newer charts. I had this gone back. I'm going to play it so you can see how it played out. This is the BNB 8521. Notice we got a perfect wick right up here. We rode right up the ring. As soon as we crossed it, we had a pivot to come down. Well, actually, this pushed up. Let's see here. Actually, this is the ring when we crossed it. We came down, found support. So you can see right now your current resistance. Notice this is on 3 hour. You got a wick above it, but we're below it. Actually, we're below this yellow ring right here. So look, price targets for BNB. And we're going to go back to those two previous charts, guys. So look, your current strongest resistance right now is right here, $431. That's where we topped out. Remember, these lines have been here way before price. We respect these rings, so your current resistance below 131 is right here at $423. Notice right here, this line, this is a fib channel. You can hardly see it. I have it highlighted. And remember, this ring is going to be a pivot as well. So your support, if we drop, you're looking for a 0.2 long. This is where you long, right here, $396. And if you break that, and you can't tell clearly, look, resistance, resistance, flipped as support, support, push up to next resistance. Now we're below this point. And if you drop below that, well, we already have all of your price targets are mapped out. If we drop down, the next point too long is 366, depending when you make contact. We know that because look how much support and resistance this has been. We came down as support. We came back up as resistance. It was resistance, support, resistance. And the next time we made contact was over here. Resistance, 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 cross the ring. This was a pivot to come down. We pushed back up, resistance. As soon as we broke above this very strong resistance, we pushed up. So that means this will be very strong support, 366. That is how you read the charts. Your target's already mapped out. You just need to go back. If you can see this line has been tested the most right here. So this is your strongest support if we have a drop for BNB, if you want a chance to long. I'll give you one more. If we come down, the next point you might want to long is 341 to potentially 337. Pay attention when we cross this ring. This could be a point we get another pump, or we move down the ring. So that's BNB. And this is the published version, just so you can see how it played out. Let me zoom out a bit, just to show you that these charts, you know, once I create them, they stay the way they are. And I have the price labels there kind of covering it. But you see we topped out right at that line right here. So I just want to show you that. So before I get into the VIX and the Dow and all that, so let's cover this chart here, right? So this is the 21-week moving average. There is a lot of resistance up here. Again, we got this white ring, this yellow ring, and you have this fib channel line. We know that this line has been respected, support resistance going way back. So what I'm getting at, yes, we are above the 21-week moving average typically. That is bullish. As long as you're above that, people say, okay, we're above the 21-week. So that's bullish to go higher. Maybe. But I would like to point out, I don't know if this is the best chart to do it. Probably so. If you'll notice, this 21 week, right? This is when we went up to 14,000. Let me go back to when we were at 20K. And let me show you why this is important. Notice this is where we topped out. This was in 2017. We topped out around almost 20,000. So notice what happened. We came down and we pushed back up. Notice we pushed above the 21 week, right? We found support on it, became resistance, we found support. We were above the 21 week, that'd be bullish. What happened? Well, we came back down to support. And then we were under the 21 week, right? We pushed above it briefly as a fake out above the 21 week, and then we came back down below, perfect resistance. So what I'm getting at, just because we're above the 21 week, this is where we drop from 6K to 3K. And let's go to when we push up to 14K. So right here, if you'll notice, we found support on it, we broke it, we came up, we got rejected. 20-week moving average, right? Notice we're finding, look at this yellow ring. This is a yellow fib circle. I'm saying we're topped out, perfect support. We pushed up, we got above the 21 week. People got bullish. What happened? Came back down, tested 21 week, we broke it. This is when COVID happened. So what I'm getting at, and if you look, the percentage we pushed above this back after 2017, how much did we push above the 21 week? It was roughly, we pushed above it, you know, back here we pushed above it about 19.15%. Right here we pushed above it about 11.71%. So if we go where we're currently at now, and I think I'll show you that yellow ring by itself. But this yellow ring, we hit it, we got rejected, we came down, found support. This is that next ring right here, guys. If I move this ring, it's all the same fib circle that we've been respecting going back for years. We're right friggin' at it. We have all this resistance right here. This is very strong resistance. I will say this, if you get above right here, if you get above this point, get bullish, right? This is a lot of friggin' resistance. 49,700 to 51,000. You get above that, get bullish. In the meantime, we have so much resistance here, it just makes sense we're coming back down. We break the 21 week. Well, guys, you know my stance on this line right here. If we're below this point, this would be a great point to buy in. If we have a drop, which looks about the same distance, if you go from the bottom to the top, you know, when you come down, that pretty much brings you to this point. So if we drop, this is where you'd want to buy in. This is, if it's above this point, hey, it could be bullish. We'll come back down, we'll push back up. This is where I'll buy in to catch a nice bounce, have my stop loss below in case we break below it. And as I said in that video that I got a lot of flack for, I said if we drop down below this point, I know for a fact that when we drop, this is the next point to catch a bounce right here on this orange ring. I've covered this in previous videos. Go back and watch it if you want. But to me, it seems like, guys, this is not financial advice. If you got in here like I did, and you rode this up and you're happy with your profit, you might want to consider taking your profit. Steve, when chart for Solana is the next only top coin we don't have a chart for yet. Yeah, again, I'm going to update current charts, and then we can add more charts, all right? And I'm going to delete a bunch of charts, like duplicate charts. My point is, guys, if we break this right here, I don't think we're going higher. We might push up. I don't think we're going higher than 49,952. If we push up, I think we'll get top 49,000 to potentially 51,000, and that is the top. I think we will be coming back down. But per classical TA, as long as you're above the 21 week, you know, you can stay bullish. But if we come down, this is your target. This is the G1 chart. This is the E1 chart. This is that same ring right here. This yellow ring again. And notice that we're at the top of the Bollinger Band, right? Tested it, rejected, tested it, rejected, tested, rejected. So if we come down, your current right here, this is the price for the 21 week, and the I think that's the 34 week moving average. That is this price target here, right here. So look, if you break below 43,759, we're back below the 21 week, which means we could be back in a bear market. And I will stand by what I said, and I hope to God it does. I mean, hey, look, I'm expecting this potentially come down, but you know, so many people gave me shit. They said, "Oh, well, we didn't hit your target." Well, that's all it was a target. Had we come down, we would have got a bounce here and pushed up. We never got to see that happen, but if we do get topped out, there's a lot of resistance here. If we break 34,759 and we come down and break our previous low, this is the point you want to buy. This is the same fib circle that called the top, guys. Do not forget that. This orange ring right here, or this a curve representing a ring. I've talked about this way in advance. I said when we hit this point, this is the top. That was 65K. We came down, and notice we've been respecting all of these rings. I'm not going to load the published chart up. You can see with support, resistance. Found support on this red ring. Found support on this white ring. support. That's why I said likely this would be a target. Well, we pushed up, we never got to find out. But if we come down, guys, this is your target. This is the E1 chart. So I do think we're potentially topped out to come down, and this does play along with the VIX, the Dow, and what's going on currently. Let me show you. So let's go to the VIX chart here. So you'll notice this VIX chart every time, and remember the volatility index for the S&P, that's what this is. And this is a great thing about this chart. When I set up, look at this blue fib circle, all the same fib circle. Look what happened every time we cross this ring. We cross this ring, we got a pump. That's the volatility index. When this pushes up, people are I guess that's when, you know, people are when this pushes up, that's bearish. That means potentially the markets can come down. Notice what happens as soon as we cross this ring. We got another pump. Well, we're right at this next ring right here. How far off are we from this ring? We are currently about 7 days from this ring. So I think it's the same thing that played out on these previous rings. I mean, look how severe it was with this ring. When we hit this ring, we pushed up. We pushed up how much? We pushed up a total of 530%. We crossed it, we pushed up, we crossed it, we pushed up. In about 7 days, well, at any point from now, when we cross it, it could actually do this. It could just push up this ring, which is going to be bearish for the markets. Or it could do like the previous rings, we cross it, and then we start getting a pump. So I just wanted to point that out as the volatility index. So expect a big move between now. This could continue up, bearish for the S&P 500, or we potentially cross it and then it pushes up. But I expect within the next week, now, at least now, before or now until the next 7 days, we could get a big move with the volatility index. And this is a published version of this chart to show you when we cross this ring, we pushed up and we're right at this ring. It's kind of ghosted right now. The Dow Jones, guys, I believe the Dow Jones is topped out. Now, what's going to change my mind? I know they're in talks of an infrastructure package here in the U.S. And look, that could be bullish. I'm not going to lie. So those targets I gave you back here, if the infrastructure bill passes and we see the market start pushing up, Bitcoin is going to follow the markets. That is proven. If the markets push up, the dollar goes down, Bitcoin's hedged against U.S. dollars, so that means we could go higher. But if we're expecting a lot of volatility with the VIX, that means we can have some downside, and I still believe the Dow is topped out. You'll notice we did get above our previous high here at 35,414. This was resistance, 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 resistance. Now it's support, right? But this is still going to be a lot of resistance. This is 35,750. This is your current support, previous with a horizontal support. So your support currently on the Dow is right here, but I do believe the Dow is topped out. Notice we've been trading kind of sideways for a total of 101 days. And guys, I told you, once you break this yellow line, to me, that is a clue that we're coming down. Now, yes, we have pushed up, but this is where we topped out last time. This white line right here, this was our resistance right here, and we're right at it now. So I do believe, again, once we cross this point, I think we're coming down for the Dow. That plays into the volatility index. This here is the S&P 500, but this is the SPDR S&P 500 ETF Trust. If you notice, we're respecting this blue ring going way back, and look how well we respected this. Notice this was a pivot at this blue ring. We rode up this ring, support resistance, hit this next ring, we pushed up, crossed it, got a bounce here. It was resistance, resistance, support, support, resistance, support. We are right at the next ring. To me, it makes sense that we're going to get rejected. And this means the volatility index pushing up. I think the Dow Jones is topped out. We continue sideways next 7 days. Let's see how many days it is when we contact this ring if we go sideways. This is 4 days. So if we go down sideways, that totally goes to the volatility index. And I believe what's going to happen is this ETF Trust is going to continue to move down this ring, which is going to be bearish for the markets. Remember, the markets come down, Bitcoin is going to come down as well, and that means the dollar is going to push up. I don't have that chart up. If you watched the last video, I did cover the Bitcoin versus the DXY. I think the dollar has much more upside, and just everything that's going on, guys. I went out to go buy a bike not long ago. there's a shortage of bikes. We still have a shortage of semiconductors. The transportation index, I think you probably saw that video Alessio put out. I guess, I don't know what it was called. Maybe you guys can tell me. It was Dow theory or something like that. The Dow continued to... The Dow was pushing up, but the transportation index was coming down, which is an indicator that potentially the markets might correct soon. I totally believe that that's going to play out. But guys, whether you believe this COVID thing is a hoax, whether you believe it's real, it's up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just telling you that things are getting bad, cases are getting higher and higher, and at least it's possible that it could be more lockdowns. It's possible that they have mask mandates now. So I'm just telling you, pay attention to this new Delta variant because it's affecting a lot of people. And I think this is just the perfect storm for what's going to come. Okay, I'm going to read some of what you guys are saying. You just had it, Trivium? So you got COVID. Was it less severe? Did it put you in the hospital? Yeah, that VIX chart's been on point. Expect a move with the VIX. If you sign up, you have to do stop please. How did I lose credibility? I'm giving you support resistance levels. I'm telling you to pay attention to the US markets because it affects Bitcoin. Lawrence, why are you here? I don't get it. Go watch Carl the Moon or somebody like that. Yeah, a lot of people say that's the first symptom, you lose taste and smell. But this isn't about that, guys. What I'm trying to tell you is at least how the markets behave and react. Whether this data is real or not real, just know that there are spikes and it's affecting people. Transportation's being affected. That's why you have a shortage of supplies, globally. I'm just telling you, pay attention to everything. It's gonna help you make safer trades. So yes, again, if we get this infrastructure package in the U.S., free money, helicopter money, right? So that means we could push up. If markets push up, Bitcoin will push up. But do pay attention. We're in a rising wedge, and I will admit there's no bearish divergence right here. This is actually bullish. This has been moving up. Even though that's a rising wedge, which is typically a bearish pattern, this could push up. Rising wedges have been known, even though it's a bearish pattern, they've been known to push up. But I would watch for a fake out to 50K. Says my fellow medtech friend who was working in the hospital had accidentally brought home the virus to his mother despite being negative, and a few days later she died. That's sad. That's the sad thing. A lot of these people aren't wearing masks, and maybe they're healthy and they'll be fine, but other people, have, compromised immune system, or they might underlying conditions, and those are the people that are going to suffer the worst. So even if you think you're invulnerable and you're okay, which you might be, think about other people, guys. Just think about other people that possibly could get infected. And, you don't want to lose your parents or grandparents or those that you love. So just practice, just be safe. That's all, guys. Just be safe. But I guess if you don't think it's real, I guess it doesn't matter what I say. What is your entry point? So I'm out. So listen, guys, I told you I swing trade. So look, if you guys look, sometimes I do make thumbnails that might be a little clickbaity. I'll admit that. I will be much more careful about that. But if you did watch that video I put out when I was calling for around 23K, I did tell you, and guys, those that watched the video, I said this. I said, look, as long as we're below this line, I am bearish. At any point we push above it, I get bullish. And ever since we got above that point, we pushed up a total of 44%. So I give you points to watch. You're below this point, stay bearish. You get above it, get bullish. It's that simple. Yeah, well, let's get off the COVID thing. I just want to let you know that things are getting worse for you that aren't paying attention. I agree with that, but people will do what they want to do. I do agree that nobody should be forced to do something they don't want to do. If you don't want to get the vaccine, don't get the vaccine. But at the very least, if you're trying to protect others, if you're not worried about yourself, don't wear a mask. But if you're worried about other people, wear a mask, all right? Just for the people you care about. So again, so what we're watching to see is if we break below the 21 week, and we've been above it before. I just showed you that we have been above the 21 week, and people get bullish, and then bam, down we come. We're just barely above it. I showed you last time we got above it, what, 19 and 11%. We're just barely above it. We're only 8.67%. Ironically, if we pushed up to here, the strong resistance, that's 16%. That's on par with last time in 2018. So we could easily break this, come right back down, and if you want to buy in, this is where I'm buying in. And if that breaks, this is where I'm buying in, guys. These are the points. I play big moves. We got above here. Notice we came down, found perfect resistance on this line I've talked about for a long time. Look at this. We came down. We found it was resistance. We pushed above it as support. This is where I bought in and rode it up. And then you swing trade. And that is the point of the C1 and H1 chart. That is how you know. Look, every time you come up and you hit this point, look, resistance, get out. Resistance, get out. You know, if you want to buy in, you come back up. Now, if you get out here, you know, it did come back down. We got to push up, but we got rejected here. Support. As soon as we cross this ring, that was the last tweet I made. We got a pump, and now we're coming down. And notice, you can tell just during this live stream, I said that this is going to be your support level. Notice we wicked above it. We're pushing right back up. So your resistance to watch, according to this chart, guys, these charts have been accurate. I'm telling you, your support resistance levels are already marked off. So look, we're holding support at 46,164. We'll have to see what happens. Do we break above that? Do we break to the upside from this rising wedge, which is known to happen? This is Bitcoin. We're holding support right now. So if we push up, you know, your resistance is going to be around 49,768, potentially 50,000. But I think it's very possible we'll get topped out at this yellow ring. So you have any questions for me, guys? I think I covered the most important things. I haven't been paying attention to what you guys have been saying because I've been yapping. I've had both jabs. My opinion, lots of people are not clean. Yeah, I agree. I think it's the risk not getting the vaccine is outweighs the risks of getting the vaccine. Did I say the G1 chart? I have certain things removed that people that don't have access to it, I don't want them to see certain things. But yeah, I'll update these charts after the stream, so this is the way it was when for you guys to have access. And remember, guys, if you do want to sign up, guys, it's just $39 a month. You get access to Bitcoins, altcoins, precious metals, and Discord for $39 a month. Anytime you want to cancel, read the bottom of the website. I have instructions how to cancel, or just email me to the contact page. I'll cancel your account for you, and you can still access the charts for that month. Hey, I admit, take your vitamins, be healthy. You do want to be healthy. That means if you do get it, you know, it won't be as severe. But some people, it's going to be a lot worse for. Hey, you know, believe what you want to believe. Nobody has the right to tell you tell you what they think you need to do. You do what you want to do. But just be careful, that's all. You know, I know gold came down. That is something I need to work on right now. Altcoin charts are my priority. You guys have been on me for altcoin charts, so that's what I'm going to do. But guys, just, you saw how accurate these charts are, right? You know where your support and resistance levels are. That is the point of these charts. When you push up and you top out at this point, hey, probably take your profit. You know, Bitcoin's already coming down. If we break right here, if we break this, we are coming down. 45,828. And if you break this, if we break the 21 week right here, which is around 43,500, that's it. We're back in a bear market. If you are so confident about which direction the Bitcoin goes, you will not be here doing the job of crypto beggar. I don't know if you're talking to me or somebody else in the chat. Look, all I'm doing is telling you what to pay attention to. If we push up, I can tell you that there is a lot of resistance up here. And you might say, well, how the hell do you know that? Let me just remove some stuff from this chart and just show you this ring by itself. And this is why I don't like saving charts when I do stuff like this. I just want to show you this ring by itself, alright? I'm going to get rid of this blue ring. Let me get rid of some of this stuff. just so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm gonna get rid of this moving average. Hold on, let me get rid of all this. I just want to show you this fib circle and why I know that we'll potentially top out. Just like on this E1 chart, guys. If you followed me back when we hit this, I was very confident this was the top at 65K, and that's exactly how it played out. And then I told you when we came down, I said the first point to catch support is right here on this red ring. How did I know that? Because every time we hit this damn red ring, it was resistance and support. This red ring was support, 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 support. Became resistance, resistance every time we pushed up. Every time we pushed up, look. It was resistance, support, support, support. We broke it. Look, this is the 21 week right here. We broke it and crashed. And then every time we pushed up, red ring, resistance, resistance, resistance. Came down, resistance, resistance. Tested the 21 week as support. Then we pushed up. I expected us to get rejected. We did get rejected. Became support, support, support. We pushed up. That's why I said when we topped out at this orange ring up here, I said your first point to watch for support was down here. Now, yes, we wicked way the hell down below it. But look at the daily candles. 1, 2, 3, 4 daily candles above. Then we came down. We tested this white ring. Then we look how we had 1, 2, 3 more daily candles above it. Then it became resistance at the orange ring and the red ring, and down we came. And I made a video about it. Said you probably want to short 39,700. It played out. Notice we found support here, found support here. So guys, when these rings are set, they're in place. I'm telling you, this is the same fib circle, guys, right here. This fib circle. Let me load that trade. Let me load that up on TradingView real quick so you can see it. Some of you guys might be new here and you'd be like, well, how do I know that that's accurate? And again, published charts can't be edited. I just want to show you this chart. It is important for you guys that are new here. The rings give you the ability to find out targets that we've never tested before, because that was an all-time high. We'd never tested 65K before, and I was telling you 65K was the top. It's kind of hard to do that with trend lines if you're testing points that are all-time highs, right? How do you find the top? That is the purpose of fib circles. And just want to show you this chart real quick, guys. Just for some of you have seen this already, I just want to show you the accuracy of these charts and why they're great for finding tops and bottoms. And why I know that if we drop below a certain point, why that orange ring will be support. So let me go to this chart real quick. I got my other window open here. This is the E1 chart. I'm going to show you the weekly chart of this. So just look at this chart and pay attention, all right? I just showed you this red ring, why it was so important. Let me get rid of this here. So this right here, so right on that E1 chart, you can see these are the rings. I just had curves. This orange ring, we topped out at 20K, right? It was resistance. We broke. We came down. We tested the 200-week moving average. We pushed up. This is the next orange ring. Notice we crossed this blue ring, had a drop. Rode up this blue ring, crossed it, had a drop. Every time we hit the red ring, we had resistance. So watch how this plays out. This is that orange ring I said we would top out. This is that white ring and that red ring we found support. This is that orange ring I said if we continue down, this is where we find support. Look how it played out. This is published on November 14, 2020. We knew exactly where the top was. If you've been respecting a fib circle this well back here, you push up to the next one. This became a support and resistance. Look where we topped out, guys. That's literally to the tick. And where we came down, found support right here where these intersected. Support, support, we pushed up. And now we're starting to come back down. That's why I'm saying it is very possible that this yellow ring is going to be the top. Yeah, that's some sad stuff, guys. You know, hearing people getting sick. Some people, you know, get through it. Some people, you know, don't make it. So how many of you guys are bullish that we're going to go push up past 50K and go up and hit 100K by December? How many of you guys believe that? How many people are bullish that Bitcoin's going to continue higher from here? I just want to know how many of you guys are bullish right now. All right, so Trick Facts thinks we're going to hit up to 80K. Okay, well, you know, you can also use that as an indicator as well. I look, sometimes it's good to play the contrarian. I have to say, you know, it's possible to get a fake out to 50K, pushes up, people get bullish, and then we come down. That is why these rings are so important, guys. That's why this yellow ring right here, that is why all of this support and resistance, all of this right here, we are right here. We're coming up a rising wedge, coming up on 3 points of resistance. You got this green line we know is strong resistance. We've got this white ring, the strong resistance. We got this yellow ring I know is going to be very strong resistance. So even if we push up, you know, say we push straight up, we got a fake out, we would get topped out here and then potentially come down. However, if we do push up and get above this point and hold support, I get bullish. I think it could be a bull trap. I think the markets are ready to come down. Even if it's not meant to be a bull trap, if markets correct, Bitcoin's going to correct as well. That being said, if they pass this infrastructure bill here in the U.S. and it pushes the markets up, Bitcoin is going to follow the markets. Wall Street is tied into Bitcoin. And the same thing, pay attention to the DXY, guys. If the dollar starts plummeting, if the dollar starts tanking, be in Bitcoin. If the dollar continues to push up, get the hell out of Bitcoin. Okay, so how many of you, well, you pretty much answered my question and asked if you are bullish. A lot of you said bearish. But we're going to see what's going to happen pretty soon. We're going to be breaking this. And again, do not forget, if you have access to stocks, pay attention to this volatility index. I think we're going to get a big move soon. Especially with what's going on. We're either going to push up this ring or we're going to cross it and then push up. And remember, volatility index up, usually typically the S&P will come down. So let me give you support resistance levels one more time. Again, guys, you want to access these charts, the website is opticalcrypto.com. This is the link to sign up right here. If you want to email me, this is my email address. You can just go to the website and go into the contact page right here. If you are signed up, make sure you send me an email so I can give you the Discord invite link. And so you can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter's private. That's where I keep you guys updated and say, hey, we're coming up on a pivot ring, tick-tock. And we're in this falling wedge. People say, well, you know, you're in a falling wedge. It's a bullish pattern. When is it going to break? Well, we know here when it's going to break because we have the damn charts with the rings telling us when the big moves happen. And that's what I do, just keep you guys updated on price targets. You know, I said right here, if it's a potential point to short, you know, we were pushing up. I said, pay attention to this. This is what I'm talking about, this yellow line. This is on the H1 chart. This is where we topped out right here. This is a swing trader's paradise. You know when to get in, you know when to get out. If you are using leverage and you do not have access to these charts, then you're just playing patterns. But again, these charts are accurate. And remember, I just showed you, these lines have been here way before price got to it. Well, thank you, Michael Rath. I appreciate that. I'm just telling you what to pay attention to. The most important thing right here. If we break, we're in a rising wedge. I'm telling you, this is your target right here. If we drop, your first target is right here. If we break down from this rising wedge, this is where you want to buy. If we break this point right here, the next point you want to buy is right here. This point, this is your next buy-in. And this is the same fib circle that we topped out at. But it looks like that, you know, at any point we could break this. This is the daily. So watch what happens. We have 8 hours and 8 minutes. Set your timer. See what happens in 8 hours and 8 minutes. If we start pushing up or if we break this and drop. Nope, no rings. Just on the charts. Radash, so if you sign up to the charts and you get access to them, you'll notice if you click on access charts and you click on Bitcoin. So when I'm on Twitter and I make updates, I tell you guys, hey, pay attention to the H1C1 chart. You know, I'll make reference to the name of the chart. It just makes it easier. So you know, pay attention to the C1 chart right here. And pay attention to the H1 chart and the G1 chart and the E1 chart. These are more macro targets. Some of this stuff I'm going to get rid of. The halving chart, BTC trend lines. Some of these charts I'm going to leave. Peak of the bull run chart I'm going to get rid of. Just leave peak of the bull run 2.0. You know, I have Bitcoin dominance up. Let's see what's going on with that. Bitcoin dominance is coming down. That's bearish for the price of Bitcoin. Dominance, your next support level is down here around 41, and your resistance is up here currently at 45 to 47. But look at dominance. It's been coming down like crazy. Dominance is already down from this last peak 40%. Greg, did I answer your question? Oh, you're talking about the ring at every finger? Yeah, I try if I can see. Tony Bento, so look at what Tony's saying. That H1 chart, if you've been playing it, just swing trading, you can make it a killing. Yeah, okay. So Roland, understand, when I create a 1 minute chart, that chart is going to be out of date quick, because that was just for swing trading. It's probably only good for maybe 4 or 5 days. Those charts weren't meant to last for a long time. These charts I create, you know, like the H1C1, these are good for months and months and months. That's when I create new charts. So I'm going to update all the altcoin charts, and then if need be, I'll create more Bitcoin charts. Blessed. No, I know a lot of you guys have been asking me questions, and I haven't seen what you've been saying, because I kind of just wanted to follow along what I set up for this this stream. But remember, we're in a rising wedge, but the most important, guys, is this chart here, the E1 chart. As long as we're above this point, you want to stay bullish. You know, I would set my stop. If you're in and you want to ride this up, potentially to go higher, don't have your stop set at 43,759. Have your stop set up somewhere like 42,000. I know you have to be willing to lose a little bit, but that's a safe point to set your stop. And if we push up, guys, look, I'm out. I believe this is going to come down. If I'm wrong, you know, if it pushes up, I'll buy back at support. But I don't think we're getting higher than 50,000. If we push up 50,000, that's it. From this point, I think we're coming down. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So if I load up the A2 chart, I don't think I've updated the price labels. This is the A2 chart. You know, this needs some more fib channels added. These are more macro targets. If you push up, you get rejected here. You come down, you'll find support. This is your next support. The last time I loaded, okay, A2 is the A1 chart. Hold on. So this is the A1 chart, the bigger time frame. So this is a target to the upside, which is 49,800. Look at the confluence here. I'm telling you, if we push up, the highest we go is 50,000. This is 49,896. That is on par with that chart I just showed you. This is a very strong resistance level. You come down, 44,560 is your next major support. And then when you make contact with this, your next support, 41,538. That's why I give you different charts, different ways to see support and resistance levels. But guys, I'm not going to repeat all of this. If you want to rewind it back, I want to make sure people that see this stream later, it won't be too long, so they'll watch the whole thing. But I think I've covered the most important parts. You know where your support and resistance levels are currently. You know that right here, as I said, this was where you belong if you want to chance it. You know this yellow line's been very strong support and resistance. So we're pushing up. Your next resistance to watch, 46,787. 46,971, your strongest resistance right now, 47,868. Your next strongest support below 46,000 is 45,000. A lot of charts are showing 45,000, very strong support. And that's why I say the H1 chart. The H1 chart is the next one. The one that said H1 is life. Again, that H1 chart's been very accurate. C1 chart and the H1 chart. But just watch and see what happens, guys. This is what's important. Do we hold above the 21 week or do we break it? And we've been above it before, broke it, and crashed. Keep that in mind, guys. And we do have bearish divergence, guys. We have bearish divergence on the smaller time frame. That is why we're coming down. Notice how price kept pushing higher and higher right here. Price was pushing up, right? But look at the MACD. MACD has been coming down. That is bearish divergence. Yes, I will be updating the altcoin charts. I'm going to do like 2 charts a day. I created matic, added a new chart. Updated, created a new Bitcoin, a Binance chart, a BNB, and I created a new this H3 chart for Ethereum. And I showed you how that played out if you want to go back and watch it. So if you want your price target, just rewind it back, guys. And again, one last time, if you want to try these charts out, just click on subscribe. Again, stocks tutorials teach you my method of charting. I have like five tutorials. I show you how I create these charts, you know, based on trend lines, fib circles, fib channels, stocks, and but $39 a month is only Bitcoins, altcoins, precious metals, Discord, and Twitter. Try it out. And then if you want to cancel, you can cancel anytime. Contact me by email if you do want to cancel, or read the bottom of the website. It tells you how to cancel. And then again, if you want to do lifetime, which is $2.99, to get access to everything and never have to pay again, shoot me an email through the contact page. This is the sign up page here. If you want to do lifetime, if you're already currently subscribed and you're like, screw this, I don't want to pay monthly, I'm going to get access to everything, contact me through the contact page. Say, hey, I'm ready for lifetime. Upgrade me, make me a gold member in Discord. Just click on the contact page right there. And also make sure you use that if you want to get access to Discord and Twitter, because I'll need to email that to you. So guys, that's it. Trade safe, trade smart, and just remember, it is very possible markets could get topped out. If they do, maybe it's a point if you don't sell and you want to stay in, it's possible it pushes up. Set a stop loss. Set a stop loss somewhere below the 21-week moving average just to play it safe, because if we break that, I think a lot of people are going to get even more bearish and this thing could come crashing down. Guys, that's it. Till the next live stream. I'm out. Peace.